Come on, land gang. You stay there, I've got to go to work. Yeah, I do. Morning. Welcome back to Kiwi Farmer. Down here at the lease block, just down there at Blooming Beat. Just me today. Kids got their Zoom meetings and school classroom stuff happening at the moment, so left on my own. All my help's gone. So, pretty well finished lambing. Just a couple more to go, and then as soon as they're pretty well done, then we can open them up into some new grass that we've got here. And then yes, lovely and warm today, so we can hopefully stop feeding grain soon, and don't have to run down here every couple of days with baleage as well. So quite looking forward to that. Reduce my workload a wee bit, and then we're due to start calving 1st of September. So yeah, a couple of lambs there. It's a good thing about feeding grain is they're all quite quiet and they don't run away from you. They come towards you. So it's quite nice, as opposed to the hill ones that'll freak you out and run away when you come close. Thought I'd just show you the subclover that's out here. It's next to a paddock where the singles are. This is all subclover here. It's all come away since it's rained. And so we just haven't grazed this one yet. We're just waiting for the subclover to really establish, so we can get the best out of it for this spring. Put some quick start on here yesterday, which is nitrogen and sulphur. Just gives the grass a bit of a boost, makes it jump away early in the spring, so it'll do wonders for this clover here too, for sulphur. So yeah, it's pretty exciting to see this amount of subclover here, and it's all across this paddock. But once we graze this down, we might run in here with a direct drill and just stitch some Italian ryegrass into here, just because the grass that's in here is pretty thin in places. The old grass grub has attacked it and opened it up. So when it's warm, we'll get some of that into there, and that'll be a pretty good paddock. Just up here by the ear strip, put a wire up, let these cows out of this hill paddock. Only about a week away from calving, so they start feeding them a bit more and putting them behind a wire and keeping a good eye on them. And then when they calve, we shed them off to take the cow and the calf and put her onto a different paddock, so she can pretty much have as much feed as we can offer her. Still going to feed her these girls fodder beet and hay as well. But yeah, it's a cracking day. Got our singlet on. It must be close to 20 degrees now, so it's nice to finally see some sun and have a bit of warmth. Quite frustrating when you see something like this. Hill cow, we got 4 of them out of this pine block, and obviously there's still one left in here, and rather than get out the same way she got in, and then all the gates were open up to where I could see her, yeah, she just died. Bugger. Just up here with Alfie, giving him a run. Hey Alfie. Just bringing these ewes down, put them in that paddock, be grazed there for a couple of days, and then we're going to run them through the yards, give them a 5 and 1. Some drench, split them out into singles, twins and triplets, and then it's time for set stocking. So we'll show you the Excel spreadsheet on the computer that I use to figure out the circus that is where everything goes for set stocking. Just managed to get out for a quick run, about 7 k's. Yeah, just now the evenings are getting warmer and a bit more light, so got a few races coming up, adventure races and stuff, so yeah, need to crack in and get a bit of training done. So we'll throw a bit of this footage on the channel from time to time when we get out and do some missions and whatnot, but we'll go inside and I'll show you this Excel spreadsheet for set stocking ewes. So here's an Excel spreadsheet that I use every year for set stocking. So we've got paddock, area of the paddock, desired stocking rate, so that's ewes per hectare. So and then it automatically calculates ewes per paddock, and then you can just switch around. So the yellow are the harder paddocks out the back, they'll be the single bearing ewes, and the green is the twin paddocks. So they are a bit easier paddocks. They should grow a bit more grass, a bit lower in altitude and a bit more sheltered. And then these ones down here that I haven't allocated yet, they're for the hoggets. So they're virtually ones that we can keep a good eye on the hoggets with. So just finished our winter review. Run through a whole bunch of different topics. We'll just go through some headings here, so if you don't want to bore you to death with all the detail.
Well, first up, what do we mean by a winter review?
Oh, exactly. What do we mean by? So this time of year, pretty well, we assess kind of what we have done, both in the winter and the season leading up to it. So this is the turning point, essentially. New lambs being born, new calves being born, everything that is worth value, like all the old season lambs, are gone. Well, they will be on Tuesday.
The
financial year switched over. So this is the start of the new year, new season.
So it's really an annual review.
Annual review, yeah. Well, we do it in winter. And we started off doing that actually for almost a mental health thing. Assessing what we could do over winter, because winter was such a hard...
You realise I'm not on the camera, eh?
You are on the camera.
No, look.
Do you want to argue about this?
No.
Do you want to go around and have a look at the back?
No.
Because the front doesn't portray the back.
Oh, I was hoping I wasn't. Carry on.
I've lost my train of thought now.
Originally it was a mental health thing because we really struggled in winter, and the first big farm system change that we made was, would you agree, deciding not to take calves through the winter?
Yeah, so selling calves at weaning as opposed to taking them through the winter on fodder beat, trying to get the 1 kilo a day live weight gain, and then selling them to we were initially taking older cattle through to sell them prime, but then we brought that back and took calves at weaning through for winter to sell them to 5-star. But then we scrapped that idea as well, and just selling calves at weaning now. So essentially, like this year, we've just got 2 mobs on crop. So Part
of that decision
easier.
Was to make winter easier.
Yeah.
For management, and
because it's
easier
pretty
on the soils, easier on the
and mental health. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
So
now we do a review every winter.
Yeah, so we do a review. So what we've done here is we've reviewed our RAFNO. So what we talked about, what we liked and what we didn't like, and we're going to do RAFNO again next year, but what we're going to change for that.
Pretty good learning curves there.
Yeah, massive learning curves. Our lamb sale policies, so what weights we're going to try and take them to, when we assess on whether we still carry lambs into the winter or we just get rid of them all store. Our calf weight targets for weaning, and then who to sell them to. You know, we have been selling them to Ansco privately. That was after the COVID lockdown last time, when the calf sales were happening through the yards. Don't mind the lamb walking around in here.
How did we get out?
I don't know. So the animal health policies that we've done, so what worked well, what didn't work well.
Most of the animal health was... Oh, yeah, we're not talking detail.
No, we won't go into detail. If you want us to go into detail, we can.
Yeah.
But for this one, we'll just go,
It's pretty good, wasn't it?
So...
You were doing a death kick the day before yesterday. Now look at you. Hey?
So cattle wintering, what we thought of that, were the cattle on the right crops, right types of crops, were they not? The sheep wintering, both at the Grange here and at a lease block. The hay sales, so we've been selling some small conventional hay bales to horses and to people, for cattle,
To the horses?
cattle and sheep,
Probably
for people to
more
eat.
the people. But that
So,
was the first time we did this year, so we were just deciding, are we going to do that again or not?
yeah, so next year, this coming year, we're actually putting a paddock of Italian ryegrass and Timothy in specifically for hay, for horse hay, as well as going to have probably 3 different lines of horse hay. Getting too much in detail.
Yeah, no one wants to know this.
Boy purchases, so
The bulls.
going to go to Timperley's and hopefully buy a bull, and then some rams. So looking at, we've probably got all our maternal rams we need. So go and get some terminals this year for the first time.
Terminal rams before.
So we need help on what actually to buy there, James.
James, I hope you're watching. I've written down your name there.
Regrassing, so which paddocks get regrassed after crop into what different species. Stocking rates, so are we happy with the current stocking rates that we've got, or do they need to be tweaked a little bit? And then finally the kind of the interesting stuff, I suppose, extracurricular stuff that's coming up. So Balanced Farm Environment Awards, we're entered into them. What is going to be a point of difference for that?
Watch the space.
Yeah, the next generation farmers, or we are going to be a kind of focus farm or feature farm for them as well. Sheep beef for that. So that's going to be exciting as well. So we're going through that space. And then future has just a big box around it with nothing in it. Dot. What's for the future?
Yeah.
So yeah,
half
a bottle of wine and a bit of Baileys, and
Scotch diamonds.
Our winter review is over.
Yeah.
For the year. So now it's, we've done this, but it's a case of going back and reassessing this during the year. So if you want any more detail on any of this, just drop us a comment. And
interesting to know if anyone else does this stuff too. What else? What areas do you guys reflect on, and do you? And of course, you make changes as you go, but do you actually sit down and
look at the tweaks that you can make? The ones that you did make last year, were they beneficial? Did they work? Did they not work? And
have you got any different ones from us? Any significant ones?
Yeah. What advice can you give us?
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Bedtime, Lamb.
Bedtime.
Good night. See ya.